Hello, my name is Simon Willie from Holts Auctioneers. Today we're in the fantastic Dunkeld at John Dickson Son. We're doing valuations and appraisals and offering history about some of the items that come through the door. We have the honour of Donald Dallas, our Holt's famous historian, able to tell us and explain to us about a few of the items that come in and also perhaps put a current value onto them.
Hi, I'm Donald Dallas, Holt's historian. I'm at a Holt's Valuation Day at John Dickson Son, the gunmakers in Dunkeld in Bonnie, Scotland. And we've had a very large number of extremely interesting guns that have come in today. But I'm up here as well to show them my new book that's just come out on Alexander Henry. This book will be available later on this month, and it tells the story of the famous Edinburgh rifle maker Alexander Henry. This is the very first book in Great Britain. The rest of the books are on a boat just now. They're coming back on a slow boat from China.
This particular pistol is known as a dress pistol. It wasn't used for any belligerent purpose whatsoever. It was just simply used as a cosmetic accessory. If you went on an evening out, you would actually have a brace of these pistols as simply part of your dress just to look good. This particular one was made by Kind of Liverpool, and it probably dates from fairly late on in the 19th century, 1870, 1880. It would never have been used whatsoever.
How's this for a really interesting discovery? A customer brought this gun in. It's a Joseph Harcum sidelock ejector. Fairly standard sort of gun, not particularly interesting, and is in a purdy case. But what was absolutely fascinating is, have a look at the name on top of the case. The name on the top of this case has Charles Gordon Esquire written on it. This case originally housed a purdy built for the very famous Scottish eccentric Charles Gordon, who ordered hundreds and hundreds of guns in the late 19th century and never fired any of them at all. The customer was absolutely delighted when I told him his Harcum gun, although a nice gun, was not particularly exciting, but the Charles Gordon case is really exciting and should fetch an extremely high price because it belonged to the famous Scottish collector Charles Gordon.
Who's the most famous gunmaker of the 19th century? Oh, that's simple, you see. Joseph Manton. Well, da-dan! Here's a Joseph Manton dueling pistol, probably about 1815, by the most famous maker of dueling pistols probably of all time. Why was he so famous? Well, he was very clever, Joseph Manton. To have a rifled pistol in dueling was illegal. It was regarded as being unfair, too accurate. So what Joseph Manton did was, he had invisible rifling. The barrel was rifled for probably its 3/4 of its length, and the end was smooth bore. So when the second in a dueling match examined the pistols and put his finger down the bore, he could tell it was smooth bore. But as we know, it wasn't. It was rifled. And Joseph Manton's reputation was made as the preeminent maker of dueling pistols. This is another really interesting gun that a customer brought in. At first glance, it looks like it's a double-barrel percussion shotgun about 1820 by Walker of London. It looks like perhaps the barrels have been cut down at some stage. But in close examination of it, the barrels have never been cut down in this gun. It's been deliberately built with barrels of around 19 inches long. This is not a double-barrel percussion shotgun. This is a double-barrel percussion coaching carbine. By the early years of the 19th century, blunderbusses were going slightly out of fashion, and a lot of coach guards preferred to actually have double-barrel guns that were more effective than a single-barrel blunderbuss. So this is one of these guns, and hence it's really quite a rare item.
Well, what a fantastic day. We've had some real gems turn up today. We've had the coach pistol, we've had a travelling carbine. It's amazing where all this stuff comes from. If you'd like to know more about some items you've potentially got, we'll be back in January. Donald Dallas will be here. We'd love to see them. Many thanks, Simon Willie.